Hey there, I'm Jen Herman, and in this video for the Leap into Live series, we're going to talk about how to rock your Instagram Live videos. Now, I realize that Ecamm doesn't exactly support Instagram Live, but that's okay. Chances are you're still running Instagram Live videos, and if you're not, you may want to. And we still want to make sure that you have all the tips and resources you need to be successful with your Instagram Live strategy. So in order to make this really effective for you, I feel like I should share some screenshots and some visuals, and I've got some bullet points on slides. So I'm going to go ahead and launch the screen share right now so that I can share some of these additional information with you. There we go, it's working. All right, so we're gonna dive right in. And one of the first things I wanna talk about are the benefits to using Instagram Live. Now, chances are you've watched a bunch of these other videos in the Leap into Live series, and basically the benefits of live video are the same across all platforms. And there's a lot of good reasons to be using live video, of course. But let's just quickly overview why Instagram Live is a great idea. First of all, we love live video because it's live. You can't fake it. It allows you to build rapport and trust with your audience because it's real, raw, and happening right in front of you. If something happens and your camera falls over, if something happens and you trip over your words, which I am super guilty of, I like to make up words apparently, it happens all the time. But that's part of your authentic personality that comes through on a live video. When we see recorded video, we don't know if that was one take, if that took 28 takes, how many things were edited, were they reading off of a script, did they really know that information, are they the face of the company, or are they actually the expert? Live video allows all that authenticity to come through the screen without any of the editing that we get on those types of recorded videos. So that's one of the main reasons that Instagram Live can be really valuable, because it's happening right there in front of your audience as it happens to you. There's also a great interactive component. I actually love Instagram Live for the interactions. I have done YouTube Live, I have done Facebook Live, I have done Instagram Live, and for me and my audience, I get way more engagement over on Instagram Live compared to the other platforms. Now, granted, I do have a bigger audience on Instagram as well, but they're active there. And when I go live on Instagram, I'm getting way more people there. I'm getting way more comments. Sometimes there's like whole comment threads going on just among the people that are watching the video that don't even have a direct conversation to me. They're talking amongst themselves in the comments. It's very interactive. And I do love that, because the purpose of live video is to get out there and connect with your audience. So that interaction for me is a great reason for Instagram Live. When they come on to your show and they're logging in, do the quick hello, say hi to people as they come in, greet them, make them feel like they've really joined the conversation. If people are asking questions, which is really common, and we're going to talk later about how you can really effectively use a questions feature on Instagram Live videos. But if they're asking you questions, take the time to answer those questions. They showed up, they took time out of their day, and they genuinely want your input. Participate, create that dialogue with them to make them feel like this was a valuable experience for them as well. And likewise, return by asking them questions, get feedback. You know, recently I've been working on doing more content, and sometimes we get to the point in our own business where we're like, what else do I need to talk about? Like, I have nothing else left to say. I've said it all so many times. So I go out and ask my audience, and I've done it on live videos as well. And I say, what do you want to hear from me? What topic would you like me to cover? Is there something I can do differently? What would you like from me? Asking them those questions, getting that direct feedback from your loyal audience is invaluable to your business and your content strategy, maybe your product solutions, your services, all those sorts of things. And you can get that directly live, honest feedback just by asking them on a live video. So keep that in mind as part of your strategy as well. I also would love Instagram Live videos to drive immediate actions. It's live, it's happening right there. So when you say, hey, go sign up for this, they're like, okay, it's not recorded. They don't have to wonder if the link is still working. They don't have to wonder if that contest is still open or is it closed. They're talking to you right then and there. They know that this is relevant and you can get them to take action, whether it's signing up for something, whether it's going to visit a certain website, whether it's downloading something, purchasing something, whatever it is, they can take action immediately because you're having a one-on-one conversation with them right there in the moment. And it's a great way to drive those actions for your business. So those are just some of the reasons that I really love Instagram Live. Now, all right, you're on board. I convinced you, right? So we want to do Instagram Live. How do you get people to show up? That's obviously going to be important to figure out. First, how do you get people to show up? Plan in advance. Don't be spontaneous. There's absolutely something to be said for doing spontaneous videos, just showing up on the spur of a moment, launching something when it happens, great. But the chance that somebody is online on Instagram at that exact same moment that you go live when they didn't know you were going to be there, not a really good chance. Whereas if you tell people in advance, hey, we're going to be going live at this time. We're going to be doing this at this time. We're going to be talking about this at this time. They're more likely to show up. They're more likely to make time in their schedule to be there. So plan it in advance and promote it. Let people know what you're doing. I love the Instagram countdown sticker. That's one of my favorites. If I'm going to go live on Instagram, I launch the sticker in a story sequence 24 hours prior to the live video. Now, why do I do it 24 hours before? Well, stories last 24 hours, first of all, but the countdown sticker can go up further. But chances are people are going to be more likely to remember it in a short attention span. So if I tell them on Monday that I'm going to go live on Thursday, they may forget by the time Thursday rolls around. And even if they signed up for the reminder on the countdown sticker, they may not have put it on their calendar or made time for it. But within a 24-hour window, most people have a short enough attention span that they can remember, hey, tomorrow I want to tune in for this video. So I usually do the 24-hour window. I go ahead and throw up a little Instagram story sequence, including that countdown sticker that says what I'm going to be talking about in that live video, when I'm going to be live, and don't forget, click on the countdown sticker to get your reminder. That's basically how my sequence works. The countdown sticker is there, they tap on it, and they will get a reminder at the time that the countdown sticker expires so that they actually go, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be watching Jen Herman live on Instagram right now. And they can jump over and come and watch me. So that's a great, valuable way right within your Instagram platform to get people to know about your show. Additionally, send out notifications to your email list, to your Facebook group, your Facebook page, other social media platforms. Let people know that you're going to be going live over on Instagram. Give them the link to your Instagram profile so that they can make sure that they can get there, whether it's the @ mention or the actual link. We want to make sure that they know how to get over to your profile in case they don't know exactly what your username is on Instagram. I definitely recommend you tease the topic to get them interested. Just saying that you're going live on Instagram, okay, why? Why should I show up? But if you tell me what the topic is about, maybe some of the things you're going to cover, are you going to have a guest? What's going on? All these sorts of things are things that you want to factor in for your teasing, your promotion, all that to get them to show up live when the time goes right. Then I also recommend you have a set schedule for regular show times. If you're going live Tuesday at 9 a.m. one week, and then the next time you're going live Thursday at 1 p.m., and then the next time you're going Wednesday at 8 p.m., it's hard for people to make time and to show up. Now, there are certain situations where different times can be helpful because maybe you have a diverse audience and lots of different time zones, and mixing and matching those times allows different people to tune in. That could be a viable reason. But in general, having a set day and time actually allows for consistency. People start to make it part of their routine and they're more likely to show up. It becomes like that episodic content that we see a very good following for on social media. So if you show up, every other Tuesday at 9 a.m., people know that you're going to be there and they can start to factor that into their schedule. And then if they know they can't be there, they will be sure to come around for the replay because they know that it's going to be there for them. So try to keep a schedule if possible. So now that we've talked about how to get people to show up, now you're ready to go live. You go live on Instagram. Great. How do you keep them engaged? How do you get them to actually participate in your video? Let's talk about that really quickly. First, we want to share topics that they care about, something that actually matters to them. It's really key that when you're creating these video topics, you pick things that are relevant to your target audience, not necessarily what you want to talk about. Because if you show up and say, hey, I want to tell you about this new product, they're like, why? But if you say, I have a product that is going to change the way you do X, all of a sudden, now it makes more valuable to me to show up because it means something to me. It's going to change and improve the way I do something. So put context in their relevancy and create the topics that are relevant to them. Some of these things can include commonly asked questions. If there are certain things about your business, your product, your service that people are always asking, whether it's putting you up as an expertise, maybe it's answering questions about how a product works or something like that, all those commonly asked questions are great things to cover on Instagram Live videos. Questions you wish your audience knew to ask. I always love this one, and this is actually a tip from Stephanie Liu, who obviously has a series in the Leap Into Live as well. But she said this, and she was like, questions you wish your audience knew to ask. And I'm like, that's so right, because we want our audience to know these additional things, but they don't know to ask the questions because they don't know what they don't know. So how can we create the dialogue and create the answers for the questions that we wish they would ask, but put it in a way that makes them feel like they're getting added information out of you? Also, products and services that you're either launching, that are about to launch, that did just launch, new features, new updates, all those sorts of things. Live video is a great way to showcase those things. Give a beta preview to something that's coming out. Do an unboxing for a new product that's just about to hit the shelf. All these sorts of things. You can do really fun, experimental things with on live video. Try different ways of teasing it. Try different ways of showcasing it. See what works with your audience. See what they respond to. And then you can do more of those down the road. Training into tutorials, this is what I live for. I do live videos webinar style, very much like what you're getting right now. I just do it without the slides. But I usually do kind of webinar style when I come in with a specific training topic for that video. And that's what I go in and teach. And people love it. They want to learn. And believe it or not, they even want to learn on Instagram and on Instagram Live. I promise you, people there do want to learn as well. So it's a great way to do those tutorials, trainings, webinar type things. And right now with the current climate that we're in with people working from home a lot more and having the ability to tune in to virtual learning, this can be a great way to connect with your audience. Products, tips, and tricks. So let's say there's a sneaky way to do something differently. Maybe you're familiar with Ecamm, but you don't know all the tricks and tips. Well, Ecamm could have a live video that shows you how to do all the tricks and tips. And now you're like, great, now I know all these additional things that I didn't know. There's all these fun little things that I'm sure know about your products and services that your audience doesn't know. So create these live videos to teach these additional fun things. And then finally, behind the scenes. Everyone loves a good behind the scenes. This could be behind the scenes of your business. It could be behind the scenes of planning an event. It could be behind the scenes of launching a product. It could be meeting your staff. It could be behind the scenes at an event once we go back to actually socializing at events. All these different things. People love having a behind the curtain view of what's going on in a business. So find some creative ways that you can mix in live video to showcase that as well. When it comes to your Instagram Live videos, I want you to plan for replay views. So one of the things about Instagram Live, I'm going to talk more about this, is that it does go live. Woohoo! We're on camera, yay! And then you can save it for the next 24 hours to go out to your Instagram stories. But I want you to plan for the replay, not for the live video. And here's why. When you go live on Instagram, they have to go and tell people and get the notification out there where it moves to the top of the stories feed that says, hey, Jen's Trends is live. Well, it takes a few seconds for people to start to show up. And the moment you go live, even if people are waiting for you, they still have to be able to navigate over to your story sequence to see that you're live and tune in. So, and with, the slight delay in broadcast, that can take a little while. So if someone comes in for the replay, it's now a recording, right? They're getting it, boom, right then and there. And if they tune in and you're just staring at a blank screen and you're waiting for somebody to come in, and then you're waiting for people to show up to actually start talking about the topic at hand, you're going to lose your replay viewers because you've done nothing to entertain them when they come in. And chances are you will actually have more replay viewers than you will have live viewers. Again, because of differences in schedules, time zone issues, all these sorts of things, a lot of people will choose to watch the replay over the live video. So if you're going to have more people watching on a replay than you have watching on live, we want to make sure that that video is crafted for the replay views. So I always recommend jump right into your intro the moment you hit live. It's going to do the 3, 2, 1 countdown. Hey there, I'm Jen Herman, and in this video, we're talking about Instagram marketing strategies. For those of you watching the replay, you may want to jump ahead a minute or two into this video while we get through all of the hellos and the small talk. But hey, if you want to stick around and join us for the small talk, I encourage you to do so as well. You never know what could happen. Boom, done. There you go. Now, if someone jumps in for that replay, you've talked to them, you've addressed them, you've told them what you're going to talk about, and you even said, go ahead and skip ahead while we get everything started. It's a great way to get them encouraged to participate and stay on through the replay. But on top of it, most of your live viewers will never see that because you can do that in about 5 seconds, and it's going to take 5 to 10 seconds for people to start showing up on the live show. So it's a really easy way to keep everybody happy. And then as those people do come on the live show, you can start greeting them, saying hello, doing all the things that you want to do to get their attention and participation in the video. I want to remind you, don't worry about how many people are on live. If you have a smaller audience, if you've never gone live and people don't know to show up for your live shows, you may only have one person. You may have parts of the video where there's literally nobody on live. If you're just starting out, you may not have anybody show up to watch you live. Don't let that deter you, because again, you're going to get replay viewers. And if you talk to a live camera as if there's nobody there, you lose your inflection, you're not doing your personality nearly as much, you're just kind of rambling and you're kind of waiting for somebody to show up and listen to you, then your replay viewers aren't going to stick around. So talk to that one person, talk to that nobody like they're the best person on the planet, and really make that live video powerful and valuable. And then the replay viewers are going to end up loving that as well. And then as people see the replays, they'll want to come watch you live. And then you'll have more viewers on your live show. So keep that in mind to plan for your replay views as one of your primary focuses, even though you're doing live video. Also, one of my fun tips for live video on Instagram, because it doesn't give you an option for a title. So if someone comes in partway through the live video, they have no idea what you're talking about. So here's a quick trick if you're not familiar with this. When you go into your Instagram live, you can actually type in a comment. Super easy, right? People are going to type comments and leave them for you. Great. Go ahead, type in the comment what the title of the show is. So in this case, I could have the title being how to rock your Instagram live videos. Or in this case on the screen, I put testing out live replays because I literally just did this as a test. But what you do is you go ahead and click post on that comment. Then you can tap and hold that comment and it will allow you to pin it. So now whenever anyone else jumps in to that video, they will see that pinned comment, which is your comment, showing them what the topic of the video is. And then they can see all the other comments, but nothing bumps your comment off the primary placement. So anybody coming in at any point during the video knows what you're talking about and they can decide if they want to stick around. Very sneaky little trick that you can use to get a little bit more engagement and keep your audience engaged while they're tuning in. All right, so again, keeping that engagement up on your live videos. What other things can you do? The comments and dialogue is key. I already alluded to this a little bit ago at the beginning of this episode about how valuable those comments can be and how interactive Instagram live videos can be. So I want you to keep your phone close enough to you because yes, you're only going live on your phone. You cannot go live from a desktop yet. I say yet because eventually I'm sure we'll be able to do anything on a desktop, but is meant to be done on your phone. So keep your phone close enough to you so that you can read the comments. Now, most of the time, because it's your phone, you're going to have it close enough to you. But whether it's on a tripod, maybe you're using a lav mic and you've stepped back so you can have a wider angle shot, that's okay. But now you can't read the comments. And half the purpose of the live video is to create dialogue and conversation, right? By you being able to see what they're commenting. So ideally, you want to keep your phone close enough to you where you can see the comments. Now, an exception to this is a lot of times when I go to live events and speak at conferences, I will actually mount my phone on a tripod and put it down where people can see me and the projector screen of my slides. But I can't see them and I'm not interacting with them because I'm on stage speaking, but I want to broadcast that presentation so that people can learn from it. So that's an exception where I am not in any way interacting with the audience. They know I'm not going to interact with them. But for most live video, I want to have my phone in a close enough distance that I can read all of those comments as they come in so that we can generate that dialogue and conversation. Now, all those things are populating in, okay? They're gonna be jumping in, they're gonna be showing up, people are leaving comments, and you're trying to have a conversation, you're trying to keep the dialogue going, and all these things are popping up in your face, and what are you to do? Oh my goodness, it can be super overwhelming if you're not keeping focus on the camera and what you're saying and the purpose of that, particular point or whatever it is that you're talking about. So don't read every single comment as it comes in. I actually recommend taking a pause. So get through your thought process, get through that point, and then go, all right, let's go ahead and check in with the comments that have come in. And then you can go back and you can now go scroll back to the comments and read through them and see which ones you want to announce out loud. Do you want to address the comment, answer a question, those sorts of things. So don't answer everything as it comes in, because then all you're doing is basically reading comments and replying, and it's way too overwhelming for you and the audience. So take breaks between your thought process, between your key points, and go back and address those comments that have come in. I also recommend that you interact with people by their username and their real name if possible, so that they know who you're talking about and they feel validated that you're reading their comment or question. So rather than just be like, oh yeah, and we have a question here about, instead say, oh, and user ABC has a question for us about. And if you know that person's name, you could even say, oh, and my friend John, user ABC, has a question for us. So you can actually chime in, give their full name if you want to. Otherwise, at least use their username so that people know who you're referring to and they know that you're referring to them. Now, little fun fact, I'm horrible at reading usernames. It's really comical. I think that's half the reason live viewers show up, is just to see me read usernames, because I inevitably always get them wrong, and I make a joke about it. I make this part of the dialogue, and it's funny because then they'll jump in and they're like, no, OMG, LOL, it's supposed to be blah, blah, blah. And then I laugh and I giggle and everyone throws up the laughing emojis, but it's interaction and it's dialogue. And I swear I don't do this on purpose. I just literally I'm the worst person at reading usernames. But if you can do that and participate in the dialogue, again, it generates that live, authentic relationship when people are tuning in to watch you live on Instagram. So I mentioned this earlier. There's a super fun feature on Instagram live videos called questions. And it is that little question mark looking thing down there at the bottom of the screen. So there's a number of different emojis when you go live on Instagram. One of them is that question box. Now, I highly recommend you use this if you have a busy audience, if you have a lot of people chiming in, if you have a lot of comments going on. So I have done AMAs, Ask Me Anythings. I have done episodes where I'm going to talk about a specific topic, but I tell people, if you have questions about anything I'm talking about, use the question sticker. If I'm doing an AMA, I absolutely use the question sticker. Why? It allows you to consolidate the questions. So comments are coming in and they're going and they're going and they're going and they're going and they're going, especially with a busy audience. It can be hard to go back and see all the questions amongst all of the conversation, and you may miss some of those questions. The question sticker, when they tap on that, they can actually put up a question and then it goes to your questions feed. So the image that you're seeing right now on the left, you can see the little question mark box. The image on the very far right, that's what I see as a live host. So nobody else can see that. I'm filtering through and I can see all of the questions. Once I have selected and tapped on one of those questions, they get grayed out. The ones that are bold and black are the ones that I have not answered yet. When I choose one of those ones that are currently bold and black, I could choose on the, for example, Ask Evie had said, yeah, there's a question feature now, heart eyes. Assuming that was a question, this is when we were testing it out. This is when it launched. We were doing all these fun things playing with it. But if I tapped on that, what would happen on the screen is what you see in the middle, where in this case, I did post a question that Bree had asked, where she said, what do you do when you find yourself comparing or feeling imposter syndrome? So she had asked that question. I tapped on it. It puts it up on the screen, and you can see from that screen that my comment is pinned with imposter syndrome. That was the topic we were talking about on that live video. And her question pops up so everybody else can see that question as well. So that while I'm addressing and answering her question, everybody knows that's the question I'm answering. Then when I'm done, I can go ahead and simply tap the X. Her question goes away. It's back to a normal screen. I can go back into the questions box and pick a new question to pop up on the screen. It's a really good way to keep track of all of those questions. If you have a busy audience, if you're doing an AMA type thing, or any sort of situation where you have your audience posing a lot of questions, this can be a very, very valuable tip. All right, so you've got your audience engaged. Now, how do you keep them watching? So how long is your Instagram Live going to go? Are they going to stick around for the whole thing? Let's talk about that. Ideally, you're going to want to go live for at least 10 to 20 minutes, but not more than 60 minutes. 60 minutes is the cap. That's as long as you can go. I always joke that I get the Oscars hook that will yank me off screen when the 60 minutes is up, and it usually happens about 59 minutes and 40 seconds, give or take, that it will actually pop up and give you the notification, and it starts flashing on the screen. And yes, I have maxed out my 60 minutes more times than I can count. But ideally, at least 10 to 20 minutes. Why? You want to give people a chance to show up and participate. If you're only live for 3 minutes, they're not going to see much of your live video. So the longer you're there, the more chance there is for people to interact with you. Not everyone can go 60 minutes. I can talk a lot if you haven't figured that one out yet, so I can max that out, no problem. But aim for at least 10 to 20 minutes. Have a good, clear topic that will allow you to fill that time and space. Speaking of picking a topic, make sure that you have a clear topic for that video. Aside from things like an AMA where it's kind of meant to go everywhere, when you have a very clear topic, it allows you to stay focused. It allows your audience to know what they want to tune in for and that they're going to get real value out of it. If you're jumping all over the board answering a million different questions, people aren't going to stick around because they're like, well, that's not relevant to me. Bye, not realizing that the next thing you talk about might be very relevant to them. But if you clearly outline what your topic is and you stick to that topic in your video, it's going to help you keep people on longer. I recommend you use an outline, not a script. You are not reading. Just like right now, I am not reading. I'm using my slides as an outline, and I'm talking to my expertise through each of those items to make sure that we stay on track. But I am not reading from a script, because if I was reading from a script, you would see my head moving and I'd be very monotone and I wouldn't have any near, oh wait, what was that word? That's not what we want, right? We want to be fluid and interactive and real with our audiences. So don't follow a script, but have a clear outline. That also helps you come back from the rabbit holes, because you may come in and be like, great, I'm going to talk about X today. And then you get live and people start asking you questions and you're going down these rabbit holes and detours and you're like, wait, what were we talking about? And you totally lose track. You deviate from the plan. You don't come back. You don't hit 2 of the main bullet points that you meant to hit. And now your live video is over and it's kind of gone off the rails. But if you have that outline, maybe 4 or 5 bullet points is all you need, just enough to keep you on track so that when you get those detours based on audience participation, which can be warranted, you can still bring that train right back onto the main track and keep going with the conversation topic at hand and keep everyone engaged and staying on the video through the end so that they make sure to hit all of those key things you want to talk about. I also recommend that you break throughout the video. The longer your video, the more breaks you're going to need. Think of it like a TV show where we have commercial breaks, right? So take a little break. Think of it like radio. where they have little interjections, right? That after every couple songs, the DJ comes back in and they tell you, hey, we're so-and-so, such and such radio station. Kind of the same thing. The longer your show, the more you're going to want to do this. If you have a 10-minute show, you could do this maybe only once. If you have a 20-minute show going on, you're going to want to do it at least twice. If you're doing a longer show, even more. But you do want to take a quick pause and say, for those of you who've tuned in late, I am Jen Herman, and today we are talking about Instagram marketing strategies. I hope that you want to stick around because we have lots more good things to talk about. And our next point that we're going to talk about tonight is, boom, keep on going. Those little interjections let the newcomers know what's going on, keeps your audience fresh as to what you're doing, what's to come. They know that we're in a segue to a next topic, that sort of thing can be really helpful to keep people watching longer. Also, remind them or tease them about something you're going to talk about later in the show. So for example, when I started this video, now granted, you're probably going to stick around for the whole thing. I would hope so at least, but I had mentioned questions and I said, and don't worry, we're going to talk about a special questions feature later on in this video. So I gave you a tease, something to look forward to. That's a great way to keep people interested. So again, if you have that outline with your 4 or 5 key bullet points or more as needed, then as you're going through, if you come up with something and say, and don't worry, we're going to be talking more about that in a few minutes, make sure you stick around for us to cover that topic as well. Now people have more reason to stick around. They're more likely to watch through that video and less likely to bounce off. All right, so you've got them on your videos. Now you got them sticking around. How do you get them to take action? One of my favorite things that I talked about at the beginning of this video was that you can use Instagram Live to get people to take an action. So how do you get them to do that? First of all, have a call to action planned in advance. This is something that you know you're going to ask them to do. So maybe it's going to be you want them to sign up for something. Maybe you want them to purchase something. Maybe you want them to go to a website, come into your store, when that's an option. All these sorts of things, whatever that action is, know what it is in advance so that you can plan for it and know and remind yourself where to interject it throughout the video, because you do want to repeat that call to action multiple times in the video, and ideally with a different asset or value point each time you talk about that call to action. So let's say the call to action was, I want you to join my Facebook group. So I could be talking about something and say, by the way, this is a conversation that we had in my Facebook group the other day. If you want to join the Facebook group, go ahead and go over to Facebook and search Jen's Trends in social media and go ahead and request to join the group, and I'll be sure to add you and you can stay up to date with all these conversations as well. Boom. And then I go back to what that question was or that conversation. Then maybe later on in that video, I'm talking about something else and I say, and don't forget, you can join my Facebook group, super easy, it's free, and that's where I share all breaking Instagram news. Just head over to Facebook and search for Jen's Trends in Social Media and join the group, I'll let you in. So 2 same endpoints, 2 slightly different value propositions related to the same call to action. Mix those in a couple times throughout the video, and boom, people start taking action. The idea you want to have one call to action is because if you're using the same one over and over, they're more likely to take action on it. If you give them 7 different calls to action in a 12-minute video, they don't know where you want them to go or what you want them to do. And they're like, I ain't doing nothing. This is too much for me right now. They're more likely to be overwhelmed. So have one clear call to action. You may have a secondary one, something like, if you like this video, make sure that you're following me and that you check out my stories for future updates about more live videos. That could be a secondary one. So it's not something that is overpowering the first or primary call to action, but it's a reminder at the end that you want people to, follow your account, that you want them to make sure they're watching future videos, something like that. So it's okay to have 2, but try not to get more than that. If you, oh, by the way, sign up for this. Oh, by the way, use this coupon code. Oh, and by the way, make sure you go over here and do that. Oh, and by the way, make sure you visit this. Oh, and people are like, whoa, like that's too much, right? So let's keep it super simple for them. So what happens after it's all done? You've launched the video, you got it up there, you went live, it was amazing. People stayed on, they watched, you gave them a call to action, and then you hit end video. What happens now? Well, first of all, when you click end live video, please, for the love of everything on this planet, make sure you save the video. Because if you don't save it right now, you ain't never getting it back. All right? It is super hard to get a copy of that video after you hit share if you did not save it. And if you don't hit share, it's gone into the oblivion of the universe. You will never get it back. So I know that sounds ominous, but that's really how crazy it is. Like, there's no second chance. So you're going to wrap up your video. You got that outro. You click the end video, and up there in that little tiny corner, it says save. I don't even know why this is like, it's so hidden. Like, it should be a big flashing red sign that says save. But what do I know? Click the save button. That is going to download the video to your camera roll on your mobile device. Make sure you have enough data storage to be able to save that video. The longer the video, the larger the file, obviously. So make sure you have enough data space on your device to save that. So save the video. Whew. All right, and it will pop up and it'll say video saved. So you know you're good. Then you have the option to share the video. So you can actually click that share button, and that posts it to your Instagram stories for the next 24 hours to get those replay views that we talked about. That's important because, again, not everyone can show up for the live video. So assuming it's something that you wanted to have out there for the whole world to see, you're going to want to share it. Now, there are certain situations where you may not want to share it, where it was a live video that for whatever reason was only meant to be live then and there, and once it's gone, it's gone. That's okay too. I don't recommend that all the time, but there are certain situations where that may be something for you to focus on. So share the story or share the video to your stories for those 24 hours. It's going to get replays. You're going to get more views. You're going to get DM replies to that video, because now that it's not a live video, if someone leaves a comment, it's going into your DMs. So it's going to allow them to still send you questions that you can then reply to and have dialogue one-on-one with those viewers that have watched on the replay. You can also take that video, now that you've saved it to your camera roll, you can go ahead and send it over to your Dropbox. You can have it on your cloud. You can do whatever you want with it. You can repurpose that video into your blog. You could upload it to IGTV, which, side note, they are testing the ability that when your Instagram live is done, that you can save it directly to your IGTV channel. Now, I'll be super excited when that fully rolls out, and if I'm assuming it will, because that's going to make life a whole lot easier for all of us. Right now, that is not an option. But if you'd saved the video, then you would have the ability to go and upload it to your IGTV channel, so you can repurpose it there, add a cover photo, all those sorts of things. If you want to do that as well, you could go and post it on your Facebook page, your YouTube channel, any of those sorts of things, so that now you have that high quality video that you can go ahead and repurpose elsewhere, which of course is a great content strategy overall, right? All right, you guys, so to wrap it up, to really rock your Instagram live videos, you're going to need to show up consistently. You need to promote it. You need to be real, raw, and authentic. We need to give them what they want for their topics of choice. We need to stay engaged. You need to stay engaged with them. You need to give them something to do. Use that call to action. Get them to participate in some way. And finally, have fun. Oh my gosh, it's Instagram Live. Instagram is fun. Live should be fun. It should be relaxed and comfortable and enjoyable. And the more fun that you're having, the more fun your audience is having. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in to this video, for making it through everything. As I did already mention, you can follow me in my Facebook group, which is where I share all breaking news related to Instagram. You can join me over on Instagram at Jens_trends. Send me an email, check out the website. I've got a YouTube channel. I'm all the places, but I'm only going to give you that one call to action. That would be to go ahead and join the Facebook group if you would like to do that, to stay on top of all things social media, and especially all things Instagram. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really hope that you found value in this session, and I really hope that you will have success on your next Instagram Live using all the things that we talked about today. Best of luck to you.